everybody. Happy Friday. Welcome in to Fantasy Hockey Picks and Bets presented by Prize Picks right here on the Mayo Media Network. If you're just new to the show, well, thank you for taking the time to hang out with us. Please like this video. Make sure you're subscribed to the Mayo Media Network. You never know when this guy's just going to hand out another $100. Here you go. $100 there, $100 there. Make sure you check out his new fantasy baseball show as well with Gary and Thorne. I got Cam Stewart hanging by. We got 5 games on the ice tonight. So again, please like this video. If you have a comment, leave it in the comment section. Circle back before a puck drop. Maybe it's your favorite play for the week. Maybe it's a guy on your fantasy hockey team that is just driving you nuts. You don't know what to do with them. Circle back and I will check that before puck drop. But it is time for the Prize Picks play of the day. Get a deposit match up to $100 by following the link in the description. We talked about Connor McDavid on Wednesday. I'm going to go to his teammate and his line mate today, Leon Draisaitl, 4.6, McDavid 5.12. It's too low. They've absolutely had their way with the Ottawa Senators this season. They've won all 6 games, outscoring them 28-13. Unbelievable stuff. And as we talked about on Wednesday, McDavid and Draisaitl back together. They've been really good. Draisaitl 4 goals, 6 points in 7 shots in the first 2 games against Ottawa this week. Take a look at these 5-on-5 numbers in 2 games against the Sens this week for that top line. 47 shot attempts to 22 against, 27-9 the shots in favor of that line, 23-11 the scoring chances, and 14-4 the high danger chances. And the Sens 5-on-5, they're just giving up so much. The 3rd most shots, the 5th most scoring chances, the 6th most high danger chances, and it's resulted in the most goals allowed. So I like both of these guys in Draisaitl. I like to see him come up. I'd like to see him play some hockey pretty soon. Draisaitl and McDavid, both of those guys taking the over. And I'm going back to Rickard Rakell. He had his point streak snapped on Wednesday, a 6-game point streak, but he does have 5 goals and 12 points over his last 7 games, 4 multi-point showings over that span. The Sharks, they just bring out the best in absolutely everybody. They really do. Top 5 in every single metric, including goals against per 60 minutes, number 2 and 4th in high danger chances allowed. On top of that, the 3rd most penalties per game. So they're shorthanded quite often. So give me the over on Rickard Rakell. He's sitting there at 3.1. We could get there on shots alone. If he gets a couple shots and an assist, we will get the over. Check out prizepicks.com for more. Cam Stewart.
Meaney!
What's up, buddy?
How you doing, buddy? It's been a pretty good...
Thinking about Drysdale, apparently.
Drysdale. Don Drysdale. It's been a great week, Meaney. I can't complain. The night before, we hit a big parlay thanks to your Canadians in the final leg against Vancouver. Good night last night, live betting. We talk about, I know a couple of listeners have been, DMing you and hey, what should we do here? And it works a lot. You see these games like Carolina earlier this week came back. I had the Leafs plus 205 against Winnipeg to come back. It just seems to be a great way to bet. So we like to do that, Meaney. It's been good, but I'll tell you one thing. I had the big kahunas with the Detroit Red Wings against Tampa Bay. That one was huge, and people are like, whoa, sometimes you got to find those trap lines, but I was so damn wrong about Philadelphia. This team's killing me. They're getting no goaltending. They start Elliott over Hart. They might be fade material. Like, I thought this team they're actually not very good. Like, when I watch the Flyers play, I'm not impressed. They look old and slow, and they killed some parlays last night, my friend.
Yeah, I mean, for you to have the Red Wings and for the Flyers to fuck you over like that, I mean, that is just...
Yeah, no. Yeah, it's not like, that's the thing. I take the Red Wings at like plus 300, and it's the Flyers that, you know what I mean? It's like, and you can't hedge when you're down 3. You got to wait for the other results, right? And they're down 4-1. You do the math. It's like, no, it's not happening. It's a loss.
We may have to start thinking about the Flyers overs, right? Because they may have to open up their game a little bit. You're right. Carter Hart has looked brutal. And there's a lot of their players in season long that are widely available in leagues. I know we talked about Shane Gostisbehere a couple of times. He looks like the Gostisbehere of old. Konechny is like owned in fewer than 50% of leagues. They get some other guys too, like Lawton and Voracek. These guys aren't owned in leagues. Like, they're interesting fantasy players, but from a money line standpoint betting, I agree. We may have to just put them on the list where we don't bet them or we take overs. Yesterday was great over at FTN, but we don't get involved with puck lines too much, but we had some fun over there, like Penguins puck line, Hurricanes puck line, Islanders puck line. You had the Panthers live bet to come back on the Blue Jackets, the Leafs with the bounce back, the Bruins puck line. So a lot of things worked out. Calgary, no surprise. We called it on Wednesday's show that they would just, the first game with Sutter and the Habs playing I don't know, 2 games in like 22 hours. It was really all Calgary last night in that game too, but good on you for the Red Wings. It's too bad that the Flyers ruined that for you tonight.
Yeah, it's life.
It's a little tough. Yeah, we're back at it today, right? It is
exactly
back at it. We'll get the shot props and we'll get some picks and we'll go right back at it. Look, I mean, should we just start here with an intriguing matchup with Vegas and St. Louis?
This is crazy one, Meaney. Like, what are we going to do with this game, right? Like, we're on Minnesota, the 2 games that they beat Vegas. We knew something was going on with Leonard, the COVID situation. So Robin Leonard and now Fleury, he's out due to contract tracing. So Vegas has goaltending decisions to make tonight. St. Louis, on the other hand, you give Binnington that big contract. They've been playing better. I look at the 6, Meaney, like what's Vegas going to do in this game? Right? Obviously they need to protect their goaltender, but there's a lot of problems too. Pietrangelo on the defensive end, he's got that hand injury. He's going to be gone for a while. What do we do? It's hard to bet against Vegas with their injuries, but St. Louis, it's basically a pick'em situation. What about the over 6? Do we get goals in this game, buddy? What do you think?
I think so. Yeah. The Blues are another team that they just mess with us. Like they mess with me anyways. They had the 3-0 lead against the Kings there last week. They blew that. Every time I bet against them, they seem to find a way to win. Maybe Vegas is going to start to face some adversity here. I mean, give some credit to the Wild. They're really good. They're playing tonight, too. We can give them some love. We can talk about that game in a little bit. Mm-hmm. But no Pietrangelo is huge for this team. He's away from the squad. He's back in Vegas to get reevaluated. It seems like long-term, potentially. I think the quote from DeBoer was not long-term, so maybe just long-term. I don't know what that means, 4 to 6 weeks. Braden McNabb returned on the blue line. That's a nice positive boost for them. I don't think Shea Theodore is 100%. Mark Stone is definitely not 100%. Mm-hmm. Like he's game time decision every single night. He's not 100%. So yeah, maybe we just take some goals here. Right? Logan Thomas is probably going to get the start tonight. I don't know. It's the first of 2 between both of these teams. So we could see Binnington and Thomas tonight and then maybe Dance tomorrow. I think we take the over. I think I'm leaning over here. I think this is a sneaky little interesting game from a DFS standpoint. Usually if it was Fleury and Binnington looking like his old self or the self, I would probably lean under here, but I think we're going to see some goals. Where do they come from? Is it Tarasenko night? Is it William Karlsson night? Like, where do you think the goals come from in this game?
It's an interesting question. Like, I'm kind of getting a vibe. I don't know, maybe because my buddy, his name is Vince Vaughn, but Vince Dunn, cheap on the blue line. I'm looking at it. I got a weird vision of him getting a couple points tonight. I think St. Louis, that's the thing. They can spread it around. Perron's always a guy that you can count on, Meaney, in the game. And no, former Golden Knight too. I like to take that guy because he takes everything personally. So I think he'll be at his best. I think those are guys that I'd look at. I think the Blues can score goals. Vegas can do all they want to help a kid in net, but St. Louis is at home. They're the team. I almost might take St. Louis and the over in this game. I get how good Vegas is, but St. Louis is no slouch, and they would love. Now, hey, finally, Vegas. This is a team that has had luck ever since they've been in this damn league. With everything they do, they touch it, turns to gold, the Golden Knights. And now, finally, they're going through problems that other teams have. Goaltender problems, stars that are hurt. So you know what? St. Louis might just be licking their chops like me or a dog on a bone and just say, hey, baby, you know what? Let's just bury these guys tonight, Meaney. I kind of like the Blues, and I agree with you with the over. Let's rock.
And Perron's such a good call by you, too. He's got points in 7 straight games. He got 4 goals over that span. You look at the back of his hockey card, and it's just points. And we go one game with 7 shots, one with 5, one with 4. He's got a power play point in 4 straight games. Yeah, this may be just that little bit of, every team goes through it. Maybe the Leafs just went through theirs with 3 games. It's all it takes is 3, right? The Oilers went through one with not scoring any points at all. Maybe this is Vegas's little – I don't know, time where they just struggle.
Yep.
And maybe St. Louis too, like no disrespect to the Sharks and the Kings and the Ducks and the Sharks and the Kings and the Ducks, but that's all St. Louis has played over the last month. Like,
exactly. I know.
And so now maybe a game against Vegas gets them up a little bit. I'm starting to lean St. Louis too, but I like that over. This morning was 5.5 and it's 6 now plus money there. So I would jump on it. I think maybe people are starting to hammer the over. I think that's the name of the game. Logan Thomas, I mean, he just came in. It was his first time playing in the NHL when they pulled Fleury midway through the third, the game was out of hand, but Vegas almost came back.
I know that's another thing. And you know that, Meaney, right? Like when a goaltender comes in, you play for him, right? Like look what happened with the look what happened with the Kings, right? Oh, guy hasn't played in 6 years. They win the game. Like you don't get off those teams, you get on those teams. But I would say it's a little bit different because they came back, still lost against Minnesota, even though they could have tied that game and maybe they would have won because they were absolutely on fire at the end of the game. But he's already got a little bit of time. So it could be a little bit different. And the Blues understand Vegas is still a good team. They've had great wars and battles with these guys. Remember back, like all the games, like 5-4, 6-5. They've had crazy games. I remember when Thomas had a hat trick for St. Louis. Like these Vegas St. Louis games are in my mind, and a lot of them are wild and they go over. And maybe we have kind of throwback night tonight, like a 6-5 type of game that feels like a shinny game, Meaney. But I think, the more I think about it, over and the Blues. That's the way I'm going to rock. But I will tell you this, Meaney. My dogs are hungry last night and they're like, you're a loser, Cam, because you had Philadelphia. Now we don't get the quality meats. You're giving us bad ground chuck. I wanted to get the T-bone steaks and the ribeyes, but I'll tell you, it's going to be a dangerous night, people. Just don't load up on those money line favorites making the parlays easy. I'm looking at this card. I see dogs all over the place.
Yeah. Yesterday was one of those money line favorites. It doesn't usually happen back to back like that. I would agree with you. I think you need to,
just look and,
a little bit and
yes.
creative tonight. I like that call by you, Cam.
Yes.
Shot props. Max Pacioretty is 3.5 minus 148. He only had the 3 last time, but this is a guy who continues to shoot. We like some offense here. So I have no problem going back to that one. But my favorite in this game is probably David Perron. He's plus money, 125, 2.5 shots. He's just been so dynamite. You can find him maybe on your book for a power play point. I don't usually get involved with power play points. It's really tough to call a power play point. He's got points in 4 straight games, but he's minus 160 to hit the score sheet. Again, we may be pushing it there a little bit. I like the shot prop a little bit more at plus money, 2.5. So let's get to Meaney and Arizona. Everybody's new favorite hockey team, the Minnesota Wild.
Yep.
Won 2 straight, 3 of 4. They bounced back pretty easily against Vegas. If you look at the box score, you see it was pretty tight, but they played basically 2 perfect hockey games against the Golden Knights, and they look just real strong. They're heavy favorites tonight against Arizona, minus 175, 13-11 against the spread, 15-8-1. The total's 5.5. The Yotes are 12-10-4 on the year, plus 143, 13-3 against the spread. Do they continue to keep going here, or is this the start of your push?
Ooh, that's my Coyote. Be careful, people. I've seen this movie before. I'm an older guy, but I've been betting for a long time. Hey, Minnesota. Everyone's talking Minnesota futures. Yeah, Wild. Hey, don't get me wrong. I love the Minnesota Wild, and they were great to us this week. But this is where you pump on the brakes. They're playing Vegas, a team you get up for. Arizona rolls into town very quietly and losing heartbreakers against the Colorado Avalanche. Take a look at that plus price. You still don't even have to lay the juice big with the plus 1.5. Find a dance partner. Do something. Minnesota will not be on my card. The Coyotes will be on my card, Meaney. We do things a little bit differently here. I think they can win the game outright. If they lose, I think it's a heartbreaker in overtime. I'm taking them plus 1.5 in parlays. Sprinkle on the money line. Give me the Arizona Coyotes as Minnesota takes a night off after beating Vegas. I think this is a great spot for the Arizona Coyotes.
Damn, Cam, you're so sharp.
I'm pretty dull. Meaney, I could be pretty dull too. Sometimes I'm sharp, man. Sometimes I'm dull.
I came in.
I'm just saying, I've been betting hockey like these games that seem so obvious. Like we talk about it, Tampa Bay, Detroit. Like I like the angle, and it's not like this is the thing. You can't put it in a database. It's more of an eye test thing, and you watch every game. Teams that win that are hanging on. That kind of, you know what I mean? That's one angle, like a team like Tampa Bay. They were up on Chicago 3-0. They came back and won. They were winning a lot of games, but not doing it in a pretty fashion. They were relying on their talent, and eventually it catches up with them. Also, another angle, teams beating great teams in the league and letdown spots. I'm not saying Arizona's junk. I'm just saying they're not the Vegas Golden Knights. So I can tell you one thing, Minnesota used a lot of energy to beat Vegas twice. They give themselves the old Barry Horowitz. Hey, good for us. Look what we did. And then Arizona quietly sneaks in there and has a good game. And I think they could sneak out like a 3-2 victory. Be careful with Arizona tonight. People, you got to do your own thing. You make your own bets. But this guy, I'm with the Arizona Coyotes tonight.
Yo, Matty Best, he brings up good points. Like he's spot on. I see that all the time in the NHL, like these letdown spots.
Yeah, for this game especially, I think out of all of them, this is the biggest letdown spot where people are just going to go, oh, the Wild looks so sexy. I want to pick them. Kaprizov looks unreal. And the Coyotes, I think they're being a little disrespected with this line right now. I mean,
Look what they did against Colorado. They should have won those games. So what do? They go to overtime. Like, it's not like they're in every single game they play. They should have won the last game. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm with you, Matt. This is a disrespect line. Minnesota should be $1.55, not $1.80.
And the starter hasn't been announced yet, but even if Aiden Hill goes in, I'm still not afraid of taking the Coyotes here. I'm a big fan of Aiden Hill. He's had limited work, and he's not one of those schmucks that's your number 3 goalie. He's a goalie that could start for you. He's a goalie that could be easily your backup. So I'm on board with this. I think the Wild is the biggest trap, and then, I mean, watch next Friday when we all join each other again.
There you go. Nice pick, Cam. Minnesota 6, Arizona 2. Well, sometimes we take chances, but you know what? That's the way I roll. So give me the dog. And I think +1, and you guys, if you look at the +1.5 too, even in parlays, it's close to 6.
So I'm more interested in that, the +1.
Yeah, but think about it, Meaney. It's not like +1.5 -280 like some of those dogs are when they're closer to a pick'em price. You can find a dance partner and turn that into a nice +170 or something like that, right? Because it's not too high. That's what I like to do. And people came up to me. It's like, Columbus, it saved my butt in a parlay last night. I told you Philadelphia screwed me, but the +1.5 with a dance partner like the Leafs, it turns it into plus. And what happened? They were winning that game and then they blow it again. So it's nice when you're sitting there going, oh, this is great. It's 5-5. I don't even care if the Panthers win because this parlay is attached on the +1.5. But straight up, I like Minnesota. And in Arizona. And in parlays, I'm going +1.5, Meaney. I'm on the Coyotes tonight. This dog's hanging with the dog pack.
I could just hear the people at home. How could you go against Bill Kirill Kaprizov? I don't get it. He's so good. I like the +1.5 is -159 DraftKings Sportsbook. I mean, that's okay. I'm kind of leaning under here too. The Wild have just had such good goaltending lately too. It does feel like a trap. This Wild team is so fun to watch. They really are. And Matt's right. Whoever's in net, Ranta has been really sharp. So I think it will be him. He's faced 40+ shots in 4 of his last 5 games, and he's basically stopped them all. You're right. They could have beat Colorado. They did face a lot of rubber he did face a lot of rubber in that game. Man, this one is tough.
It's
probably
tough.
will stay away. I agree with both of you guys. I think Minnesota on the money line is a trap. It's -175 is tough. That's going to get bet up by puck drop. That's going to be 185 probably. So you may even get better odds than -159 if you want to go Arizona +1.5. But I wanted to just I wanted to ask you, Cam, what your thoughts on going back to something that continues to hit and hit and hit. Now, shot prop's a little bit different than, say, teams and games and switching around. But Matt Zuccarello is a guy that we just continue to talk about.
Love him.
All the time. Like, it's just Zuccarello. He is now, his shot prop again today is 1.5 for like the 100th time in a row.
That's nuts.
118. He's hit two shots in 5 straight games in 7 of 8. Do we just continue to ride this out until it just doesn't happen anymore?
Yeah, I agree. And if it loses, that's tough. But we got to ride it out. What about Fiala? What's his shot prop at?
He's juiced up -195, 2.5. You can get like Bet365 is 3.5 plus money.
I like that. And you take a look at this guy. Look at his excessive shot props. I remember I was watching the Vegas game. The guy had like 5 shots in the middle of the second period? He's shooting the puck at will right now. So that's somebody that I would look at too, Meaney, if you like Minnesota guys. I don't know who to go. The problem with Arizona is, even though I like them tonight, think about their games, 2-1, 2-1. They've been kind of like, they like to play that suffocating style. And, when you're talking about stacks for DFS tournaments and stuff, it's a little bit trickier because they can beat you with a 2-1 or 3-2 type of game. But for Minnesota, I'd still go over with Fiala. And you're right. If it's not broke, well, let's just keep on riding it, buddy. Hey, you're winning. Win. Keep it going. If it loses, too bad. You're 5-1 in the last 6. So keep the train rolling, pal.
Yeah, I think so too. Why not? Let's just do it. I mean, it's not like he's a good player. He's getting top ice time. He's playing with Kaprizov.
Exactly.
And he's on the first power play unit. So it's not like a stretch. We're just picking an average player here to get, 2 shots. So it just continues to happen. I think we just ride this out until, he gets up to 2.5, or it's just, the line is just stupid. But I'm going to go there. And yeah, there was another one. Oh yeah, Clayton Keller. We gave Clayton Keller last week the under. People are always wanting unders. So say, here's an under, Clayton Keller under 2.5. And now I'm seeing he's minus 200 for 2.5. So minus 205. It's changed since I looked, so I can't do that. But check your book. Don't be surprised if you see Clayton Keller around minus 150 under 2.5. Doesn't shoot the puck a lot, guys. He doesn't really. He's a pass first guy. So that's one we hit the other day. You can get into a parlay, help you out a little bit. So I thought maybe when you were talking pooches, you'd be on the Kings. Maybe you are. Plus 180 into Colorado, minus 215, 7-17 the Avs against the spread, 14-8-2, 5.5 is the total here. LA 19-6 against the spread. They've been scoring goals lately, more than the Colorado Avalanche have been scoring goals. What do you think about this game?
I kind of like the over. We're talking about the under in the other game. I like the over. And I tell you something, I'm not just blindly betting on Colorado. This team might be winning you money, but in parlays, but you're taking them in regulation, you're burning money. I'd look at the Kings again, Meaney. I don't know what it is about these Friday nights when I do this hit with you. I like dogs. And again, do you have faith laying 230 with Colorado? These are not good bets. This team is not in good form right now. Could they kill the Kings? Yes. But I don't like the price. This is not a game that I love, but I think we can get 6 goals in this game. So I would look at the over. I also look at the Kings plus 1.5 again. This one's minus 136. It's just, I don't trust Colorado right now. They haven't come out and played those games where they've dominated. I get it. McKinnon's back now, and it might take a couple games for him to get rolling. I don't love this one, but I'm saying I think we can get some goals here. Are we taking a trip to the butcher with the salami? I think the Minnesota game looks under. The other games I'm looking at, I kind of like goals in them for the most part.
Yeah. I would agree. Colorado, I haven't been betting them because we've been talking about this. We've been saying it now for a couple weeks. They don't look themselves. I think we've said it for four or 5 weeks. They've had some injuries. They've had really strong goaltending. I need to see some secondary scoring from this team before I start laying this kind of money on them. Or puck lines are not the way to go with Colorado. 2-1 win against Arizona, 3-2 loss against Arizona, 5-4 loss against Anaheim, 3-2 win against Anaheim. They lost 6-2 to the Sharks. They beat Arizona 3-2. They lost 6-2 to Meaney. They lost 3-0 to Vegas. They need to show me something. Vegas is giving them way too much respect. So I'll probably just stay away. I think we see some goals too, but honestly, it's a stay away for me. There are some interesting shot props. Again, another guy, how many times do we go back to Dustin Brown? It's been 8 straight games where he's had at least 3 shots on goal, and he's plus money, plus 100, 2.5. I got to do it. Even the other day, Cam, he had 3 shots in the first 10 minutes of the game, his last game. I've said it so many times where he's situated on the power play. And Kopitar's a pass first guy. There's a couple guys, Kempe, who's really hot on that team right now. The power play is rolling. So Dustin Brown, 2.5 plus 100. Rantanen is minus 200, but I think, if you're north of the border, you could probably get him minus 170. McKinnon's minus 200, 3.5 shots. I guarantee you, north of the border, bet 365, he'll be at minus 150, minus 160. He had 10 shots on goal in his return. How mad was Nathan McKinnon, right? Yeah. I hadn't played in a few games. I'm shooting the puck like a crazy man.
He's my favorite player in the league, Meaney. I tell you, everyone talks about, McDavid, whatever. I love McKinnon's game. And that's the thing. We've seen it when McKinnon's out, the Avalanche, whatever. It's just you know what I mean? He's the straw that stirs the drink. He does everything well. I love his aggressiveness. I love the way he plays. He shoots the puck. He gets it. He's my guy. But I'll tell you one thing for me, LA or nothing here. I'm telling you, this is a dangerous Friday night for favorites. I think it's not a good way to start your weekend laying 230, whatever. No. Sure, you might catch a break or whatever, but I don't think these prices are justified for the way these teams are playing. That's all I'm saying. But I'm looking at the Kings again. Colorado, sure, they can win the game, but this one scares me big time. I'm probably going to lay off, but Meaney, I'm absolutely insane, and I'm going to tell you something now, and I'm not sure if Mayo's going to bring me back. My dogs are good, but this is the night. I think I might bet the Ottawa Senators against the Edmonton Oilers.
Well, they're due, if that's a thing. Well, Mayo will hear that.
It's another
Mayo
one of my.
That term and say too. That's not a thing at all. You guys are both kicked off the show.
It's another one of those cam angles that how Maya has spreadsheets. My angles are just stupid. They're crowded around in my brain with a bunch of old beers and stuff. They're just sitting there with a cigarette half smoked up there. I don't know what the hell. I'm going to tell you something. teams that get embarrassed in hockey and compared to other sports, bounce back time. The Ottawa Senators have been Edmonton's punching bag. If I don't see results or an effort tonight, I can tell you one thing, Edmonton, it's not going to be easy like it was before. That this team got rocked. I'm just saying, be very careful, people. I think Ottawa might win this game, and I have the Stones. I'm going to take them 1.5, Meaney. I do things a little bit differently. That's just the way I roll. But I think this is a very, again, these favorites tonight. I don't like any of them. Is St. Louis a favorite? It's a pick 'em. That's the one we like. St. Louis in the over.
It's a pick 'em. Yeah, it's a pick 'em.
I'm not telling you to do this, nor do I advise this. But people, if you got the Stones and you want to upgrade at the grocery store or buy your wife something pretty, and you want to lay it down with Ottawa tonight, and they actually find a way to win, this could be the start of a beautiful weekend for you.
I tell you what, you might be honest. You might be onto some of the dogs. I mean, it may have just carried over from last night, you being on Detroit. I wasn't going to bet this game. Again, I don't get involved with these lines. I have no interest. So it's either, you're feeling the dog straight up on the money line or puck line, or it's
dog or pass, right?
Yeah, or you just play shot props.
Or if you like Edmonton, you can't be laying these prices. You put them in parlays. It's that simple. So if you say, Cam, you're a complete idiot, and all these favorites are going to win, you're wrong with the dogs. You got to turn it into plus, because if you say 2 of these dogs lose tonight on $100 bet, you're already out close to $600. Enjoy that. That's going to be fun, digging your way out of that hole. So the way I see it is, you got to parlay it, bring it to plus. That simple.
They have played they haven't beat Edmonton yet, but they have played some tight games despite 2 blowouts, right? There was a 3-1 game, which I believe was an empty netter. There was a 3-2 game. There was a 3-2 game this week as well, and then the 7-1. So it does make sense for a bounce back spot. This is a competitive hockey team. Oilers maybe feeling themselves just a little bit. So again, you make really good points, Cam. I do think that the Oilers will score some goals, but if you think that the Sens are going to hang around, they're probably not going to win that shootout game, right? It's probably like a 3-1, 3-2
yes
deal. I'd like, the McDavid shot prop is plus money 3.5. I know sometimes he doesn't always get there, but I rattled off those lines atop the show, like just those 5-5 numbers. They've really had their way. It's just the secondary scoring. Where has it been for Edmonton? But I still like the McDavid or the Draisaitl just to get 2 points. Maybe you're probably not feeling me here, though. But minus 120 McDavid for a 2-point night, and Draisaitl. Man, my goodness, with Draisaitl. Draisaitl is plus 100 for a 2-point night. So
I don't mind that. I don't, because
you don't have to win the game.
That's what I'm talking about. Say. Edmonton, even if they win 5-4, it's a crazy game like that, your guys get points. You're not laying 265, and that's by the time we're taping the show. You think anybody's betting on Ottawa other than me and a couple other stooges? This line's going to be up to $3 real quick. People are going to blindly bet Edmonton, going, Ottawa's never beat them. They crushed these guys. I'm just saying. Right. And Meaney, you're a good hockey player. You actually, me and Gabe talk about our glory days like in the beer league, but you actually play at a high level, and I'll tell you something. Meaney, when you get beat down by a team, there's a personal pride that you take. You walk to the rink and you go, we're seeing these turkeys again. This is not happening. I don't know if we're going to win this game, but we're going to go through walls to try to beat them. I think Ottawa can keep this game real tight. If they lose, it's going to be like by 1 goal, empty net or something like that. I don't expect a blowout tonight. I'm just saying, I'd be very careful just adding Edmonton to those can't miss parlays, because they can miss.
I agree with you 100%. Absolutely. There's pride in the line for these guys. They're sick and tired. They hear all the noise, 6-0. They see all the highlights. Everyone's talking about Draisaitl's end-to-end goal. I think we'll see Ottawa, a strong effort from them too. And if you've watched them, they've been really competitive. I mean, you and other stooges. I mean, we've had a lot of people on the show that really like the Senators. Eric Young is the guy that comes here every Monday, and it's like, listen, my money again is going on the Sens. So I like that call. What do you say, Matty Best?
I appreciate the cojones, but I don't have them that big with this game. I can't.
Because you guys are smarter than me.
I think this game will just be a stay away, and I'll play some props. But other than that, I mean, I want the Sens to win, so Cam's absolutely right. But man, you gotta have some big cojones to play the Sens here. And it's not that I don't think they're a bad team. I think it's just like we talked about it earlier in the show with the Oilers already facing their adversity, how the Golden Knights are facing theirs now. And I think the Oilers are realizing, we gotta just do some shit here because the Jets are starting to look good, and I just don't want to bet it. I just want to stay away.
I'm just telling you, just an experiment, and I'm going to do it with low units tonight. So I'm going to every dog on the board is St. Louis, Arizona, Ottawa, Kings, Ducks. I think like literally, even if you go 2 out of 3 with these guys, like you're and the right dog hits, you're going to make money. I think it's a dog night, Meaney, on Friday night tonight. Like I look at the sked, and yesterday I was like, no, and I didn't take dogs. I'm like, nah, I want to take, but no, Buffalo's going to lose to Pittsburgh. That's just the way it's going to be. Carolina, they're going to smoke. We like that. Boston, revenge spot against the Rangers. But these matches to me are a little bit different.
I agree.
They don't match up right. You know what I mean? You're looking at these numbers, and I'm like, these numbers are too big for the favorites.
If you take all of the dogs in a parlay right now, it's 86-1.
Yeah, no, I don't think all of them are going to win, but I think go 86-1. You say
86-1 every single dog.
Listen, that's a bet I can get behind. You don't have to lay a lot of juice for that.
Put $10 on. You win $860. Who cares? You go. The guy's going down. Hey, honey, you want to go play some Nevada tickets? You want to buy some scratch tickets? What about the Lotto 649? Yeah, you can do the same thing, or put a hockey parlay together. You got a better chance to win the damn hockey parlay.
You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts.
Let's get nuts.
I have no problem with that. Let's have some fun and make some bets. Like 10, like you said, $10 on that. And that's the return on that.
I know.
I may or may not have just done it.
So you do have the stones. So the difference, I think, that the teams that we're talking about today and the teams that, we typically don't get on the Wednesday and the Friday that just so happen to be playing on the Tuesdays and Thursdays, like the Bruins, like the Hurricanes, those teams, they come out to play almost every day. There's so many question marks with these other teams that we're talking about here with Colorado and Arizona and the Oilers. Like, yeah, we're getting excited about the Oilers scoring 7 goals against the Sens, and then Vegas going through something. In St. Louis, the highs and the lows, and the Kings, like, what kind of team are they? So, yeah, there's something to be said about upsets. And I think my favorite one, and this isn't even an upset as we go to Anaheim and St. Louis, like, quack, 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 Mr. Ducksworth. Like, let's go here. This Ducks team, they're scoring some goals lately ever since Trevor Zegras has been called up yet. He hasn't hit the score sheet yet. I believe he has an apple. He doesn't have a goal yet, but they're also allowing some.
Yeah.
Total here, 5.5, minus 105 Anaheim at home, minus 112 St. Louis, 18-9 against the spread, the Ducks. And this is like a trend that I think, with Maddie putting these boards together, and I'm seeing against the spread, the numbers, like a lot of these teams, like the Blues, the Ducks, Arizona, like they're all like decent records against the spread.
They're capable. They're capable. That's the thing. Like, crazier things have happened. It's not like I get it. I know it's a leap of faith with Ottawa, but you have to look at the situation before. Like, yeah, Edmonton, sure, they could kick the crap out of them, but it's also a team coming off a loss. This one, Meaney, I'm going to be honest with you, I like the total probably a little bit more than the side.
Me too.
I don't think, San Jose, Anaheim, that this game is not sticking out to me, but like 4-3 or 5-4 sticking out to me big time. And that's over 5.5. So I'm usually Sammy's side, but I'm going to have 12 bowls of total to get my fiber up tonight. So we are going over the total with this one. Quack, 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 quack. And our friend SJ Sharkey.
Yeah, I like the total too. 5.5. And I was looking into it a little bit more. So the Ducks have allowed at least 4 goals in 7 of 9, which doesn't really make you feel good about laying money on the Ducks. But the Sharks are just as bad defensively.
Yes.
These teams, 5-5 numbers. Anaheim's allowed the 3rd most high danger chances. The Ducks have allowed the 4th most. Anaheim has allowed the 7th most scoring chances. The Ducks 4th most. And then Anaheim 8th in goals against at 5-5. The Sharks 2nd in goals against at 5-5. So we could see some goals. I know a lot of those numbers have to do with other teams coming in, but they both are playing a little bit wide open. The defense non-existent on either team, and the goaltending doesn't seem to be there either. The reason I side with the Ducks is because I do think, as much as Gibson has struggled lately, he can only do so much with this team too. But as much as he's struggled lately, I'd like him a little bit more than whoever the heck the Sharks throw out. I mean, it's early. We're not going to get it. Is it Jones? It's the first of a back-to-back with both teams. I mean, Jones has an .879 save percentage, and Dubnyk is not doing any better than that.
Who's in net for? Another thing is, we're talking about bad teams. Who's in net for these teams? Like, is Miska going to be Colorado's goaltender tonight? Are they going to go to Koskinen instead of Smith? Like, I would love to see Stu Skinner for Edmonton so I can bet on Ottawa. Like, that's the thing. Like, hey, come on, Edmonton, you own these guys. Bring out Bring out double S, Stu Skinner as a third string goalie. Let's see what he's got tonight. That's the thing, right, Meaney?
I like that too,
these dog teams, they're going to be playing, like, you know what I mean? The big teams are playing their backups usually, right?
Yeah, goaltending is huge. I tried to circle back a couple times when I think there was one game where LA, I think it was just recently. Yeah, it was on Wednesday where I think Quick maybe, or one of the goalies landed on the COVID list or couldn't play, and then it was like Rosenek got in net, and it was like, uh-oh, maybe I don't like the under here anymore. And I tried to circle back. So we could, there's a lot of question marks in net tonight. We don't know of any of them because there's a lot of back-to-backs. Like Logan's probably going to get the start tonight. Edmonton's, this is the first of a back-to-back for the Oilers. The Blues and Vegas will play again tomorrow night. Sharks and Ducks will play again tomorrow night. So we could see maybe Miller in net for Anaheim. We don't know, but I like the total there as well. There was a shot prop. Ricard Raquel 2.5 minus 167. Just because of some of the numbers that I rattled off with the Sharks allowing so much rubber. And we talked about them last week, just guys breaking out of their goal slumps just because they have a matchup against San Jose. Saw that with Riley Smith. So Ricard Raquel minus 167 over 2.5 shots. I think that's it. If there was one with San Jose, it would be Logan Couture over 2.5 minus 114. Check your book. You may be able to get like a Trevor Zegras 1.5. I think it's Maddie joked with us before we came on. I said it was a Zegras night. I don't know.
But it's
a Zegras night tonight.
It's the time. We've been talking about the Zegras buffet for a long time, and we're getting soup and breadsticks. Tonight it's going to be different. It's going to be a smorgasbord. I agree, Meaney. Ride it out, baby. He'll get points.
All right, the DFS landscape of things. I know the Oilers are going to be so chalky. Go ahead if you want. It's all about landing the other guys with those Oilers. So if you're playing, I don't know, 5 lineups and you're going 3 of them with Oilers, you got to mix and match. Maybe you get Oilers and Sharks and Ducks. Maybe you get Oilers, Vegas, and St. Louis. I think the games that I would stay clear of, Arizona and Minnesota, I think we could see an under there, and LA, Colorado, maybe. I just feel like that Colorado line, yeah, it's really good. That first line, they generate a lot of offense, but a little underwhelming. I just don't see a crazy high scoring game there. But I did, as much as I'm talking about Minnesota under, if you are in on the Kaprizov and Zuccarello line, there's a guy that is trending up, maybe in season-long leagues and deep leagues and maybe in DFS. I'm going to write about him as a value play over at ftndaily.com today. Is Nick Bukestad. Bukestad is a guy that I've always liked, in Florida and in Pittsburgh. He's had opportunities to play with big guys. Health has been a big issue with him over the course of his career. To that top line. He just received power play time in the last game against Vegas for the first time all year. He just had over a minute. So he's playing with Kaprizov and with Zuccarello. He picked up a point in the last game. He's got 3 points in his last 4. He's hit the score sheet actually in 3, 4, 5, 6 of his past 10 games. Shooting the puck a little bit. He's got 9 shots in his past 3 games. If you're playing in a bangers league with hits, he can help you out there as well. And plus, if you're playing with faceoffs, another guy, so he's hitting all categories for you. On DK tonight, he is 3.5, so he's going to save you just a little bit of cash. But I think where I want to go for the most part for goals is Vegas and St. Louis. I like that second line just to be a little bit different. Marchessault's 4.9, Riley Smith 3.6, William Karlsson's 4.6. And Tarasenko is still underpriced on DraftKings. He's 4.7. FanDuel knows what's going on. They got to price appropriately. He's maybe a fade there, but I think, you take the discount. And then San Jose and Anaheim. I mean, these guys are all underpriced. Raquel's 5.8. Timo Meyer's 5.6. Zegras is 3.7. How about this first line and first power play? Zegras 7.3. You got Henrique, Raquel, Silverberg, and then Shattenkirk is 3.9. This guy's got 5 points over a 3-game point streak. He's got 8 shots on goal over that span and 6 blocks. What do you think about that, Cam?
Meaney, you're honestly, see, Meaney's the guy I like. We're finding value all over the board right here. I love it, Meaney. And I got a premonition. This one's just about me, Vince Dunn. For my boy, Vince Vaughn. I got to roll. I'm rolling with Vince Dunn tonight.
I like me some Vince Dunn. He's 3.3.
Whoa.
He can get, he's got a couple power play points on the year. I don't know what the deal is with those trade reports or trade rumors, but if the Blues move on from Vince Dunn, whoever gets Vince Dunn it's going to be a win. It's going to be
I agree.
Yeah, he's a good defenseman. He's got some offensive upside. He just kind of gets trapped there behind some other guys like Krug and in years past Pietrangelo. I think he should get more power play time. From a goaltending standpoint, I think, again, it's just you want to be ultra contrarian. You ride with one of these Arizona goalies.
Yeah, or the Kings.
7-4 or the Kings, yeah. And you know what? Ranta, he's obviously boom or bust, but the 28 DK points against Colorado made 44 saves. He played LA where he made 40 saves and had 30 DK points. He played the Blues where he made 40 saves and had 26 DK points. So he could see a lot of rubber tonight. Arizona's been giving up a lot of shots. So I like him. And then, or the Kings. Yeah, you're right. Just be a little contrarian with both of those goalies. That's the way to go. All right. Recap here. I think we're on a bit of a cold streak.
No.
Yeah. Yesterday was
Come on,
great. FTM was great.
You're not cold. I see those picks. Give them the news.
All right. So you gave out 4 picks on the last show. One of them ended up being a push. You missed on Vegas. You got Montreal on the money line. Colorado screwed you on the puck line, so that makes you 1 for 3 there, 71 for 115. And then we started tracking shot props. Zuccarello 1.5 hit. Patches you missed because you only got 3. Dustin Brown hit. Toffoli hit. And old Brady Tkachuk missed for us. Every time you and I are on him at the same exact time, he misses. So I am very much done with him. I don't care if you give him out anymore. I'm just done with Brady Tkachuk.
Dude,
so you're 3 for 5 now on shot props.
Okay, giddy up. Yeah, I told the FTN subs when they asked me about Brady Tkachuk, and I almost got talked into going back to him, and I ended up going back to him obviously on Wednesday, but a lot of people like to take Brady Tkachuk. And when you look at his 5-5 numbers, he's among the leaders in shots and stuff. But I agree. Like, every time I pick him, Matt, it doesn't work out. So there's no Brady Tkachuk on my list here today. Zuccarello, yes, 1.5. Perron, over 2.5. I'm going back to Max Pacioretty. I don't care. I think there's going to be a lot of offense there. 3.5. I have no problem going back to Max. He had at least 5 shots in like 8 of 10 before that. Got to go back. Dustin Brown, 2.5. Raquel, 2.5. Check your books. I won't give them here on our record because they're just too juiced up. But McKinnon and Rantanen, check your books. If you're, again, north of the border, Bet365, you're going to get better odds there for they're snoozing over there for McKinnon.
And Meaney, my dirty pooch of the night, the Arizona Coyotes, plus 155 against everybody's favorite new team, the Wild.
What else you got for us? What else is on your card? Let's
take a look. I have a lean to St. Louis and the over 6 in that game. The Minnesota Wild at what are they, plus 155? Yes, and yes again. I also like them plus 1.5 on the parlay. Be careful with Edmonton tonight. Ottawa plus 1.5 will make parlays. The Kings and Colorado game, I'm a little bit more scared. That's the one dog that I'm worried about, but I still think that's a crazy price for Colorado at minus 230. I think the Kings might make the card, and I like the over in San Jose, Anaheim more than the side. So if I were to put that 80 or 85 to 1 parlay, I'd go Sharks and Ducks over. Ottawa, actually, this one's probably going to pay about 25 or 30, but Sharks and Ducks over. Ottawa plus 1.5. Minnesota, Arizona plus 1.5. St. Louis minus 115 money line over 6. That's what I got cooking. And I'm telling you, Meaney, I might bet the Lotto 649 dog parlay. Just put everything in there and see what happens. What's $10, right?
Yeah,
you go to the grocery store and you see those degenerates buying like $100 worth of Nevada tickets. I'd rather put it on a hockey parlay.
I agree 100%. Yeah, totally. I had a guy on my hockey team who's a big hockey fan, but he doesn't want to bet, but he loves to just get those lotto tickets and those scratch tickets. Yeah. I'm like, dude, come on. I'll give you a couple picks and we'll try to win some money that way. A better chance than those scratch tickets.
Meaney, I met this lady at the bar. Me and my girlfriend are drinking, right? She goes, oh yeah, I won like 17 grand. Like she hit some like thing and some like scratch ticket. I go, oh, that's great. I go, that's fantastic. She goes, yeah, I think I've given away about 50,000 on top of the money. Like, that's the thing. You hit it big once and then you're hooked for life. Next thing you know, you're out like 60 grand. Trust me. Bet hockey parlays at $20. Don't get into those lottery tickets and scratch tickets, man. That'll put you in orbit. No thanks.
Yeah, no thanks. All right, we need a bounce back here. We need to have a good show. Like, it feels like Tuesdays and Thursdays have been great, but I need to get a good Friday here and cap the weekend off. But you know what? I'm feeling kind of totals here today, which is not great because I haven't nailed these either. Vegas and St. Louis over. I'm with you. I'm going to go St. Louis in the over. I'm going to go the under in Arizona. I don't have the Stones to join you guys, but I think the play would be, you know what? I do. Arizona, but on the puck line.
Yes.
1.5 is minus 159. That's not bad. I like the under there too. Like, you can't do that in the same parlay. That would be a side bet. St. Louis in the over, Arizona puck line, Arizona, Minnesota under, Anaheim and San Jose
over.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And did you say LA, Colorado over? Are we different there? I think that the under is the play for me.
Yeah, maybe the under is the play. Yeah, no, actually that one I'm kind of like, I've mixed emotions about. Colorado's been playing a lot of under games, and what happened
because it gets strong goaltending.
Yeah.
If Grubauer's not playing, I won't do it.
I agree with that.
If Grubauer's playing, I'm fine with the under there. Let's leave it off. There's too much uncertainty. Mm-hmm. But St. Louis in the over, Arizona puck line, Arizona, Minnesota under, and Anaheim and San Jose over. All right, Cam, have a great weekend, buddy. What do you need?
You too, buddy. And watch out for those dirty Senators tonight. They could catch Edmonton napping, but win some money. Meaney, let's hope our golf picks, we're talking about it as we're going. I just live bet Jason Kokrak at like 60 to 1 to win this damn thing. Yeah, he's a 2-drug parlay, Coke and crack. Jason Kokrak. neat. Anyway, he's on the leaderboard right now, 6-pack. But good luck with you. I hope Shoffley makes the cut for you. I need Hatton to make the cut. Then we're in this fight, Meaney, and we can win even more money and put it right back into some more hockey bets, buddy. Have a great weekend, man. Take it easy.
You too. And check out Matty Best on the Mayo Media Network this weekend. He's giving out some good picks as well. I'm Chris Meaney. We'll talk to you on Monday. Cheers.